What you're about to see is an exchange imagined between completely strapped for time, as portrayed by EPLAN employees. The usual disclaimer and apologies apply. We should have probably rehearsed this kind of stuff more and known about it a little sooner. Nah. So, you ready? Okay.
All right. What about now? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, Mr.
Oh.
Christopher.
Oh.
RSO.
Okay. In answer to your regular question, I am ready.
Thank you, sir. All right. And hopefully sooner than later, right? Sooner in
Yes.
your case. The customer, let's say, Chris, the customer will want to do a design review on his latest rev in their build.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna export some very nice PDFs. Here we go. Export PDF.
Hold on a sec, Chris. Hold on. Let me show you something that I find is pretty cool.
Okay.
All right. So I've got a way for you and your customer to work on a design without having the use of PDFs.
All right. I think I've heard of some. Well, they don't have EPLAN, so I can't really send them the archive. Do you mean that Eviewer?
No, no, no. That's something actually more recent, an online service.
I think I may have heard something like that.
Um, Let me show you what I mean. Let me share my screen.
All right. Here you go.
All right. So I'm looking at the EPOS environment. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create an organization so that we can all share this project. So I will go here to my account, create a new organization.
Okay. So this stuff is all online. Where is all this stuff?
This is actually hosted and is part of the Microsoft Azure cloud solution.
Cloud. It's on a cloud.
Yes, yes. It's a public cloud. A virtualized computing and storage space. Lots of distributed computers providing resources. What do you think of that?
Is that really safe though? It's a public cloud.
Well, compared to a complex security solution for a data center at the customer location, yeah,
Okay, how is that remotely true? If it's on the premises, there's really only one point of attack. So,
right. For the entire internet, yes, but also the most complex and on-site security solutions is, well, the harder it is for them to update or upgrade. And the older the solution gets, the more vulnerable it is. And the more layers you have to upgrade,
the more vulnerabilities you have.
voila. Moving on. So I built the organization, and let me add to this organization who will have entitlement IDs, who will be able to
Uh,
access this
uh,
organization. And I will do here with the add function,
okay.
invite by email, invite you,
All
and
right.
his name is Braun
His name is
Swanson.
Brond Swanson.
That sounds made up, if you ask me.
No.
All right. Okay. So now you and Brond should have received an email by now. You want to switch screen and check it out?
Yeah, that is his real name. His real name is Brond. Hang on, let me check Brond's inbox.
Okay. While you do that,
Yeah, let me check
I
my
will.
inbox first. Maybe it's gonna be a few seconds.
So while you guys are doing that, I am going to bring this project up to the cloud.
Okay. You do that, and I will check my email.
Yeah. So here, I will grab our project, switch over to the good company in the cloud, and open up my Eview free and upload this project with a little comment saying V1 and add. So while I load this recent build to Eview, and also now that you guys are registered, I can add you guys to this project. So once this project is up under users, I'll be able to add you guys in.
Okay. Let's double check those email addresses because I'm not seeing anything so far. Bear with me though. All right.
Voila.
All right. So the cloud, it is up there in the cloud. Why don't you try to add me as well? Maybe just my normal email address or my alternate email address, the caldrit.eplanuser2@gmail.com.
Right. Have you had a chance to accept in the email that came through?
That's the thing. I haven't seen anything yet. Got some issues with connectivity on this side, apparently. Why don't you try to send it to that alternate email address, the caldrit.eplanuser2@gmail.com.
Just add you here.
All right, there we go. I see the email.
Yay.
All right, wonders of modern technology.
Yes, of course. With the internet nowadays, speed is of the essence.
Yes, speed is of the essence.
So now that you have taken the time to acknowledge your existence on the EPLAN Eview environment, and so has Brond, we will now add you to the user environment.
Okay.
Okay, so here under Eview free, we see the project. I will select here, edit. Now I will find your name since you accepted all liability and you mentioned that you will give us all your money once we're done with this.
That's correct. Every cent.
And voila, you have been now added. And eventually, of course, you should be seeing an email come through saying that Sergio, who's me, has added you to this organization.
And I got the email, and there I am in the project. So we're set.
So now you have a few different options. In the page navigator, as you walk your customer through the ePulse app, you can give him or her a few tricks, right? So let's go take a look here. And the navigator, you'll see a funnel. You see that little funnel up on top?
Yeah, I got
And
it.
of course, a little target dartboard with an
Right.
arrowhead stuck in it,
Uh-huh.
as well as a star. The
Okay.
funnel thing is a filter.
Yep.
In your case, the customer has some concerns about maybe the PLC rack. So click on the funnel and then in the text field, type in PLC.
All right.
Right. If you expand both of the identifiers, you will see that only one page with PLC in the description appears. Now, since your customer has an issue with one of the PLC card choices, we will isolate just the schematic pages. So now click the dart thingy and it will show you only the interactive pages again.
Okay, there they are. Okay, I see 40 PLC rack overview and the 50 PLC supply.
Fine. Let's look at the PLC supply page.
Okay, and I think he was interested in the Ethernet bridge specifically. It's this guy right here, so I'll click that.
All right. So you can check the specifications on the device from either the data sheet or the data portal.
Okay, so down here under parts, and then I think I just clicked the little shopping cart, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
And
But
amazing as that is, all the information is available on the web.
Yes. Accept cookies, of course I do. And there it is.
Isn't that groovy?
That is great. Okay, so I see it. This device has two Ethernet ports, and I think what the customer wanted was just the device with one, and I believe that's the dash AENT.
Right. So let's make a note to add dash AENT. So click on the
Okay,
red line icon on the upper left.
that's the little stylus thing. Okay,
So you have a few options. You can make a text comment, a geometric note, rectangle, polygon, etc. Or if you have a stylus, you can even do something a little bit more freehand.
oh good, and I got a stylus now, and I like everything to look like a cloud, so I can do that.
All right.
Okay,
And now you can make adjustments to the description and status.
all right.
And you can change the status to review and make a comment about changing the PLC card to change Ethernet bridge card to 1734 AENT. And as soon as you make those changes, the other members of the organization that have the project will see the changes and receive an email about those changes right away.
Okay, all right, so I should see that there. And if I go back to Mr. Brond, and Mr. Brond is offline. Why don't you, what about on your side? Will they show up on your side?
Yes, it will. And I do have the email. Unfortunately, it's my daughter's on the computer and I
Gotcha,
can't
okay, all
use it.
right, so, but it will show, it will show up. I see a one on the NFPA very good admin. Okay, so that indicates that there is a red line coming up.
That's it. So each user can also create their own personal note, visible only in a browser. And that is also called green lining. So if you go over there and if you select green lining,
Okay. Then I can just type out something or say,
you can just point out, write something,
yeah,
and these will only be visible to you.
perfect. Fantastic.
There you go. And if you switch over to me,
Yep.
let me go back into the project.
There
There
it
is
is.
your comment. So we can
I
all
can't
see
spell that well. Well, that's pretty nice. What else can we do?
So, well, after you've made all of your comments, you can export them to a project management tool that reads a .gson file by using the export tool. So if you look at my screen here in the project environment, I can export a .gson file that can be used. So that's pretty neat, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right. So far we've been looking at a little representation of the project in a 2D space. But if you have created a Pro Panel element, you can allow other members to view them in a 3D representation. So if I go over here, and if you look here under 3D, I will be able to see the panel.
Okay, and so this gives like a snapshot of everything that we've actually put in the panel from the Pro Panel project so far. And um, yeah, there it is. And it looks like there's a little device navigator too, so I can view all the parts associated with that project.
And even better, when you select a specific device, the system automatically will show it to you everywhere in the project. So you will be able to see it on the schematics. And if I select here 3D mounting layout, it will only display or highlight that specific object in the panel environment. All this in the cloud.
Okay. So what happens when all the revisions and drafts are processed and the user modifies the file from the actual platform? On the project navigator, I saw a version number.
Well, let me show you. If I go back here and I select the project with changes that I've made and I decide to upload this, you will notice that I'll say version 2. The project version will increase. However, the older version history can be opened with the previous versions if the comments and what changes if that's not enough. So down here we have version 2 now as it's being progressed into the upload cloud, but we will now have here the older version, which can also be opened and also be verified with the app or with the web browser. We can see the comments made previously.
I see. That is a lot for freeware.
Anything else?
Not from my side, but let's break the fourth wall.
Thank you. And now we will move seamlessly to the question and answer segment. First up, does Eview replace Eviewer?
That is a great question. Yes and no. Due to the cloud-based environment, of course, the on-premise version, which is a software version, the Eviewer, is the one that would be on-premise. So if a company has only that capability, they'll most likely go with the Eviewer tool. If not, we highly suggest everyone, and especially nowadays, since the internet is where we live and breathe, we should be all using the Eview tool.
Thank you for the explanation. Next up, how many Eview organizations can I create?
Thus far, there is no limitation, although for your management purposes, we would suggest you to create the different level of organizations that you require and not necessarily go nuts with it. But we do recommend at least the minimum amount, no specific number. But at this point, yes, you can create a lot. And of course, we highly recommend you do so. Create your company environment, and you can upload as many projects as you want. So there is no limitation to this date, as far as we know.
Just to add on that as a practical note, what we've seen from customers who use the Eview tool is for a specific project or project stream, they'll create a pair of organizations, so one organization internally and then one organization to share externally. And that way they can, the only choke point is just transferring the project from one organization to the other, which you can accomplish by the platform tool or just an archive file.
Chris and Sergio, thank you so much for the explanation. So we have one more question. What is the main difference between EPLAN's existing Smart PDF and the Eviewer or Eview?
Right, not to get those confused. What's the existing plan? Of course, PDF is a requirement from the industry, so that will always be and it'll always stay. The Eview application is just the new means of making this whole journey a little bit more usable. So ideally, if this is a requirement just to use as communication between different parties for different needs, Eview is obviously the weapon of choice due to the fact that it's seamless and very easy to use. PDFs are there, will always be there, and you have PDFA archiving capabilities, which are security, relate issues, and will always be there. So both will be around, and yeah, you can benefit from both.
Excelente. So questions going once, going twice. Any more questions? Perfect. Well, thank you for attending the webcast. Now, of course, you have to share some shameless plugs. If you would like to know more, please check out our step-by-step how-to videos on EPLAN Learning Center, our new webcast series called A Digital Journey, and our new podcast, Efficient Engineering, and it's on Buzzsprout. Thank you for your time, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of your fare. Thanks to Sergio and Christopher. I have been your moderator, Andrew Fortenberry. And as always, be good to each other, and we'll see you next week.